Hi everybody, it is Kirsten here with Water's Edge Tarot, coming at us with just a general reading for the collective again. I said I was going to be more active and I was going to do more stuff, so here I am, fulfilling that promise. One video at a time. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Let's see here. Remember that when you receive this message, even if it's like days after I post it, it's still for you. Like days, months, years. When you receive it, it's when you need to receive it. Alright, let's see what we got. So this is the card that describes what we're going through at the moment. And here I have us in the Five of Swords, which that just means that we are conflicted ourselves on what it is that we want to do. We have a lot of conflicting thoughts. Sorry, I needed to drink the tea. We have a lot of conflicting thoughts. We have a lot of unsure things that we're considering right now. And it's one of those where we're at battle with ourselves, or if there is another person in the situation, it is a close person. But it's only because we're taking what they're saying into consideration. It's one of those where, you know, the decision has to be from us and what we're doing is from us. And we're the ones that need to get our thoughts in the head clear space. And by worrying about, you know, all the other parties that are involved, which yes, there is compromise and yes, there might be multiple people involved, but we always need to know what the right decision is for us before we can start worrying about battling, thoughts from other people. All right, so what's surrounding us is the world, which means that we are in a place of completion already, that what's going on around us is a completed lesson, which is exciting and kind of scary at the same time, because it's like, yay, I've completed a cycle. Yes, I finally, you know, closed a chapter, but then it's like, what's next? What do I do next? We're going to actually pull more cards to see what more we can learn from the world. All right, and here we have the Page of Wands reversed. So this is kind of like what's the root of what's going on with us at the moment. And the Page of Wands is somebody that's new at action. Getting a bunch of new beginnings, guys. Page of Wands is someone that's new at action. Things feel kind of clumsy. They're still learning. They're not even trying to perfect. They're just trying to, like, get you comfortable with a skill. And whenever I get the Page of Wands reversed, I like to, like, if you've ever baked bread, it's like my go-to metaphor for this. If you've ever baked bread, you know that it's an laborious process. And it becomes easy after the first couple loaves that you bake. But that first or second, like, loaf you bake, they're a little nerve-wracking. Because A, you're real worried about the yeast and how it's going to rise and everything like that, because, you know that's a thing. But then when it comes to actually kneading the dough, your hands just don't know what to do. They're like, this is an unfamiliar feeling. Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. And then there's like, am I doing it right? I don't know. It's just when you first learn to knead dough, like, your hands are just like, what are we doing? And then, like, each time you do it, it gets easier and easier. And by the time you bake like your 10th or 20th loaf of bread, like, you just do it without even thinking. And you just go through the different versions of kneading that you know, because there's multiple ways to knead dough. And so the Page of Wands is kind of like that, where, where the, like, he's just learning to get into the groove of the things that he's doing. Things feel awkward. Things feel slow. Things don't feel automatic. And they're not supposed to in the new. They're not supposed to feel that way in the beginning. And sometimes that we can get real aggravated about that. So this is our recent past card. And here we have Justice reversed, which means that, you know, something happened, and it wasn't fair. Like, that is the simplest version of this card. Something happened and it wasn't fair. Caveat always being is we're telling ourselves it wasn't fair to us. We don't really know or understand how the exchange might have happened on a bigger scale. So while, yes, it seemed unfair in the moment, and yes, it could truly and honestly be unfair, I always like to have people to have a challenge, to have an open mind, to see if maybe they can't find where, you know, things were more equal than what they were. All All right, guys, we're going back to the new beginnings here with the Ace of Coins. Pentacles, you know me. Pentacles aren't just about finances, people. It's about your time, it's about your energy, and it's about your health. Big component is your energy and your time. Your energy and your time is literally where your money's at anyway. And here we're in a new place of new finances, new time, new energy, because with the new time and the new energy, we'll be able to bring in the abundance that we want, that we wish, because we will be able to make a solid foundation. With the Ace of Pentacles, it actually gives you time to kind of reset your garden, per se, to, you know, add in the new dirt, to get ready to plant the new seeds. It's a rebuilding of, you know, a new chance. So you have a clean slate and you have something to build upon, and it's a solid foundation. And all this has to do with your time and your energy. It's a time of, you know, what do I want to do next? Maybe pursue some hobbies that you haven't pursued in a while. Maybe you're just, you know, becoming an empty nester and you're like, what do I do with all of this? The possibilities are endless as far as literally what you can do with this time and energy. You just need to embrace this time, embrace the newness, so that way you don't allow yourself to like sink into sadness about it. You know, you have the time, you have the energy, do something with it. It's practically what that one boils down to. All right, guys, and then we're going into the Emperor, which is kind of back to the doing thing. So Emperor is that divine masculine energy. He wants to do things. He likes to, you know, he likes to get into the action. He likes to go out and mow his yard. He likes to work on the garden. He likes to, you know, make a new woodworking project. He likes to just do things. And he doesn't just do things to do them. He does them because A, it makes him happy. But B, he does it too because it's one of those things where in the doing, he's honoring himself. So the Emperor really is about moving and doing things to honor yourself in a way that you feel A, proud, but then others also want to follow your example. The Emperor is a natural leader. And the Emperor doesn't lead by dictating. The Emperor literally leads by example, and does everything that, you know, the Emperor acts in a way that he expects everyone around him to act. And that's what's important to understand, is that he doesn't, you know, tell people, hey, you need to do A, B, and C. He just is A, B, and C. And people are like, oh, I need to do that. And that's where we're going, guys. Let's see what these next three cards are. And then we'll pull this whole thing together. All right. So what's going on inside of us is the High Priestess, guys. And there's a lot of major arcana going on here. I'm not sure what we're doing as a collective, but woof. Sorry, take another drink of tea. Seasonal allergies. Okay, so the High Priestess, she is about intuitive messaging. She is about listening to your gut. She's about, you know, just knowing and going internal for the answers that you think you have to keep going external for. And that's important too, because a lot of times when we have questions or when we're looking for advice, we honestly forget that we know most of the answers already. We just want someone to say, validate, or agree. And honestly, that's not the best way to live life. I'm sorry if that's a trigger right there, but you need to get comfortable trusting yourself. If you need to do it for a little bit, that's fine, but it shouldn't be your default. It's okay to ask for external validation as a crutch every once in a while, but you don't want to stay on crutches is what I'm getting at. You really need to start trusting yourself. And the High Priestess here is coming to say, hey, you know, we can do this. We have the ability to sink in and listen to ourselves. Remember that. The next two cards I'm going to lay together, always do. Way to a possible outcome. Major Arcana, guys. So the Chariot is all about moving again. We have a lot of movement in this reading too. The Chariot likes to move to its destination. It does not like to stay still. And when the Chariot's upright, it is moving to its destination. It is going full force to its destination. It has control of both the horses. And it's like, I got this, I'm going. But you're going to a place of detachment. And I know this is going to sound confusing, but this is actually really profound and beautiful. You're going to a place where you're ready to move on from everything that's around you. Now, that doesn't mean that you're leaving literally everything behind and you're going to just venture on your own, unless that's literally what you're doing specifically. Good for you. But the Eight of Cups, honestly, it's more along the lines that, you're going to leave these worries behind. They're not your worries anymore, and you're going to move on without them. It's you putting down your emotional baggage, per se, and saying, this isn't me anymore. It's putting down stresses that aren't your stresses and saying, that's not me anymore. The Eight of Cups is literally just saying, you know what? This doesn't serve me. This doesn't make me happy. And I want to move my life in a different direction. And that doesn't have to be like a career path changing thing. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be you choosing, to cook from scratch instead of like cooking box meals. It can be something as simple as that. And I say simple, but the caveat is, cooking from scratch and leaving the box meals behind, that's actual work too. So yes, there is a bit of work involved in this. I just don't want you to feel like when you drop and you decide to take this new direction, it has to be on some type of major scale. It can just be a personal, silent, I'm done with this and I'm going on to something else. No one else needs to know you're doing it either. Remember that. The Eight of Cups is about you, and it's about you choosing to live differently that works for you. So now that we did each card individually, let's go over the whole story, guys, because we got a lot going on. Like, we have, five major arcana and like a 9-card spread, guys. All right. So I see here that there are things that are bothering us that we're conflicted about. And the confliction comes because of an expectation that we had of a situation that we thought would turn out in a certain way. And I'm getting that from the Justice Reverse, guys. So Justice Reverse is always us seeing things, only through our eyes and saying, this didn't work out the way it should have, or things were skewed, which, without knowing the full situation, I'm going to give you the caveat of doubt. But at the same time, remember that the universe does everything for a reason. And so even though the decision might not have been what you were expecting now, don't think that things won't eventually even out. Balance is the universe. The universe always has a way of balancing things out, just not the way we know it or understand it. So, I get that something happened, but when this thing happened, when this decision was made, it was also a closing for us. It was also us, saying goodbye to something and moving on to the next chapter. And that's important, guys, because if we don't willingly go to move into that next chapter, if we don't just take the decision, even though we may not be happy with it or like it, if we don't take that decision and continue to move forward with a open heart about what we're doing, then we're going to wreak havoc on ourselves, guys. We got the Page of Wands here that says this all feels new and unfamiliar, and I get that, and it's scary, but you can't keep going back and blaming the decision for the newness and the unfamiliar. You have to learn to embrace the newness and unfamiliar, get comfortable with it, and then if you decide that it's still not right for you, then you can go ahead and start taking that action. We also have the Ace of Coins, guys. So I know we're in a place of new space and new beginnings. Like, aces are always about new space and new beginnings. But the Emperor's really calling you out to just do action, to just move, to say, yeah, this is a new space. Yeah, this is a new thing that we're going through. But I just got to do it. It's kind of like literally just spring. It's coming out and saying, I got to do the things. The flowers have to grow. The animals are going to migrate. I have to do the thing. You have to do the thing. But the thing is it's coming from inside of you. You're looking for external validation, and that has to stop. The external validation is not what's going to help you grow. You need to allow yourself to trust the universe and flow with the universe. You have to flow and move with the universe in order for you to be ready to say, okay, I'm ready to make the change. I'm ready to leave all these worries and stresses behind. And the reason why that's important is when you decide to flow with the universe, to work with the Emperor, to let the Chariot take you, and you find yourself in a state of flow, then this detachment will happen easily. This detachment will happen and you will be like, oh my goodness, that was so good. But when you resist it and you want to say, I'm not ready for it, or I can't do this, then this detachment is going to be, it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. And that's not what I want for you guys. I want you to really take in what the situation is, say, this is what it is, and know that no amount of thinking or worrying is going to change that situation anymore, and say, what can I do to go forward? Use that new time of energy, use that Emperor energy, trust your intuition, know that things are moving whether you're going to move or not, and then when you get there, say, I did the right thing, I know I did all that I could, I'm going to drop it and I'm going to leave it, and we're going to go forward. That is the reading for you guys today. If it resonates, please comment below and let me know. I would actually really like to know what the new thing is that you've completed, and I would really be interested in, what chapter you're moving from, because this is a lot, guys. This is big. And so I want you to share your big stuff with me. So yeah, I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope everyone has a blessed day.